compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that. This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old.
Let me tell you something that you didn't know. During 2015 to 2020, the APNU AFC government only spent $10,000 per person in the hinterland on access to clean water. The PPP government is spending approximately $30,000 per person on the hinterland to ensure they have clean water.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river peaceful people struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking
behind the agenda, plans in our hands, exploring the progress where every voice stands, from the ground impact to the oil and gas scene. Together we'll build a future strong and keen.
Let me tell you something that you didn't know. During 2015 to 2020, the APNU AFC government only spent $10,000 per person in the hinterland on access to clean water. The PPP government is spending approximately $30,000 per person on the hinterland to ensure they have clean water.
This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and
A lot of you gon' vex, but I tell you, sometimes you just got to listen. There's a child in every home and every community. They will grow up to be symbols of unity. They'll be colorblind to race and ethnicity. That's the vision of a leader like President Irfan Ali. I'm talking about the one Guyana where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana to grow up in a land united and free with equality and blessed with prosperity. For too long we've been fighting one another. It's race against race, but in the end the country suffer. Oh, we were born here, not in India nor Africa. But if we can't get along, the foreigners gon' eat we suffer. We must put an end to racism. Let it end now with this generation. Together we'll develop this nation. Make Guyana the gem of the Caribbean. Don't listen to them wicked politicians who will divide us to win an election. Believe it or not, Guyanese no smarter than that. Yeah, I told you. It's your boy Podmore. Unity is the key. We are all one and we should be treated as one. Our ancestors were slaves and laborers, but the life they endured made it better for us. We honor their sacrifice and the freedom they bought for we. But some descendants of slaves use that to fuel the rich. It doesn't matter what's your skin color, when we bleed blood it's red the same. Let's respect and love one another. When a brother cry we must feel the pain. We're Portuguese, African and Indian. We're Chinese mixed up, we're Amerindians. We're all Guyanese. Let's end this segregation. I'm appealing to Guyanese in the diaspora. We welcome you home. We've got a lot to offer. It's not the same place that you run away from. Come see the paradise Guyana has now become. I'm talking about the one Guyana, where our people can live in peace, where every race trusts each other, where racial prejudice no longer exists. Our children will have one Guyana, to grow up in a land united and free, with equality and blessed with prosperity. It's a message I just want you to understand. Stop and think for a minute. Really think for a minute. If we can't fix the present, then we should work on the future.
Good morning to you, and welcome to another episode of Livewire. My apologies for not being here with you yesterday. We had some stuff we had to clear up on our end. We're trying to expand Livewire, Livewire TV, Livewire News, and we had some things the team had to take care of yesterday, so I was unable to be here with you yesterday morning. Nevertheless, we're here this morning and we'll continue as per normal. Do remember to check out last night's episode of Behind the Agenda, where Joel Bagwodin goes into detail in relation to claims being made by certain quarters in relation to, what was it? Incontrovertible evidence of voter misconduct. And he also touched on Vincent Adams, his former head of the EPA, and his push for government to take the first step in renegotiating the contract. Now, Joel breaks down the implications and the government strategy in terms of how they're moving forward with the oil and gas sector. And then he also does a comparison between the Suriname and the Guyanese fiscal regime to give a better understanding of what the benefits are, how Guyanese are benefiting, how Surinamis are benefiting, and gives us a chance to put those side by side and actually see where the better deal is, and not just listen to some of the information coming from certain quarters that doesn't fully assess what's actually going on in these two countries in relation to their oil and gas sectors, right? So make sure you check that out. We'll be on again on December 11th. So that's something for you guys to look out for. And yeah, Behind the Agenda. That aside, morning to all the persons across the diaspora, morning to the persons across the 10 administrative regions, morning to all the persons tuned in, locked in the comment section already. Good morning to you guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry about yesterday, but we're here today and we're going forward, right? Joe Nabijan, morning to you. Faud Khan, morning to you. Rajendra Singh, Ion Bipat, joining us from Barbados. Neil Ramlukan from NYC, good morning to you. Chitra Sokrat, Salome, Philip Diabru, Leroy Mangal, Philip Gonranch, Suknandan Bud, Ganesh Bharat, Nadia, morning to you. Prasad Pati joining us from Kitty, Jagnarine Edwards, good morning to you. K. Watson, morning to you as well. Balwant Danraj, Mukesh Vishnudat, morning to you and the family. Ann Hill, Shakila Bridgelal, overseas but Guyanese, good morning to you. I didn't get that information yet. Hopefully, I'll get it this afternoon and I'll share it with you guys tomorrow. Right? Dear Rajnath, morning to you. Pam Singh, morning to you and Trevor. So happy that you guys could have joined the program last night. Thank you so much for the continued support. Estelle Ramnath, morning to you. Norman Aziz, Soma Bipat, morning to you. Fong Roger, morning to you and King Emperor. Jasoda Budram, Dunan Suku, Chitra Sukraj, Lenny Lashman, Rihanna Juman, morning to you. Morning to all the Ashbys, big and small. Ormela Gusai, good morning to you. Henry Jagdio. Deshaun Abrams, morning to all the Abrams, big and small. All the littles, big and small. Morning to everybody. Gil Ian, morning to you. Ronald Jones, big up yourself. Miss Ramcharan, morning to you. Henry Jagdio, welcome. Michael Danis, good morning to you. Maureen Razio, Jamila Kayum, Tara Subrayan, Wazim Nabi, morning to you. Jen Narendra, I hope I get that right. Carla Thomas, morning to you. Richard Aklu, good morning to you. Tara Rampasad, good morning to you. Shakila Khan, good morning to you. Who else you got there? Asif Hamad, good morning to you. Joseph Satar, good morning to you. Does it? No. Philip Sundar, good morning to you. Happy Thanksgiving to all the persons who celebrating Thanksgiving in the States. Turkey. Right? Turkey is it today. Augustus Andrews, morning to you. Livewire, you share this guy video, now we on the live. So good. Welcome, brother. Pride Bacchus, morning to you and everybody at is it Infinity Music? I think it is. These guys are some really great local artists. And I must say the music in Guyana has transformed over the years. I'll tell you all this. So a lot of my schooling happened in Trinidad. My aunt was attached to Cardi for some time, and I was there going to school. My mother was overseas tending to my autistic sister, seeking medical attention. And every holiday, I used to come back to Guyana to visit, right? We never spent holidays in Trinidad. So Easter, August holiday, Christmas, any holiday that they had, we were in Guyana, to spend time. And I swear to you, all my young days, I felt Guyanese music was oldies. Because that, as a child coming up, that's why you used to hear my uncles playing every time we coming from the airport in the car. Anyway, around town, it was oldies. You understand? So I always thought, well, that was Guyana thing. We the sing oldies. Anyway, it progressed into, and I want to play a judging anybody in terms of the talent or whatever it is. But we had music back in the day, and let me be careful. We had music back in the day that not everybody appreciated. So, take for instance, Charmin Blackman got a following, but that's like a certain niche market that, I mean, watch what you're saying, Courdel. Take for instance Charmin Blackman. They got a certain set of people that like her, young and old. You understand? But holistically, as like Guyanese music or own, in terms of persons not, singing in the Jamaican accent and Guyanese promoting Guyanese music, these guys here at Infinity Records, I think it is. I ain't scroll along to see if he answer and tell me what it was. But they have been doing an excellent job. Pride Bacchus has been working along with them and a few others. I saw recently they had a meeting with President Ali. I'm hoping that's to further the local music industry here. I hope they spoke about copyright and all that kind of thing too at that meeting. But music has definitely evolved over the years, and it has become something that all Guyanese can be proud of now. We had some stuff that we couldn't we didn't really want to associate ourselves with. And then they got some people that just do these things for kicks. Like for me, I have no issue with Baby Skello, but I personally think what Baby Skello does is not like really the art of music. It's just, satire. You're trying to be funny. Because, I don't understand. Last thing I'm talking about this, because we're going way off topic. I noticed there's a video circulating on Facebook with a young lady of Afro descent singing a song. I know how to cook and clean since me was a little girl. So I mean, listen, y'all probably see it. But stuff like that, we don't need online. We don't need online. Right? That kind of nonsense that and they do a music video, a whole music video, right? The guy in jail and she sit down by a tub washing. So says me was the girl could cook, wash, and clean or something like that. Madness, utter madness. Them kind of things we need, right? If you're getting into music and you're representing this country as a Guyanese and you're getting into the industry, and when people announce you on stage, if you ever get booked out to the country, out to Guyana, so. Same thing with sense, please. Don't embarrass me, right? So Pride Backers, continue the good work you're doing with these artists. I think Beanick and a couple other. That's the only name that I remember. I think he's the most popular one, but quite a few other locals dealing with them. Shakira, Lexi, morning to you. Magdalene Henry. Apparently Augustus Andrews joining us from Long Pond Sisters Village, West Bank, Demerara. Welcome, brother. Lekram Ram Kelawan, morning to you. Donna Alfonso, Lola Harry, morning. Eunice Ragu Beer, joining us from Houston, Texas. Still on vacation. Morning to Rita, still in Canada. Timeless music, not infinity, sorry. Timeless music. My apologies, Pride. Right, Ormila Gusai, morning to you. I think that's it. Diana. Progress still all of these. Norma Aziz, Lance Henry, Sherwin, Siram, morning to you. Onika Pompey, hold a big up yourself, right? And who else we got here? Onika Love. I guess this is Onika on YouTube. Right. Good. Right. Mazo Inshan. Who else we got here? Bisunat Mohan, Rampasad Balkaran. Good. That's it. Let me get into it. So, yesterday, as you may know, the government of Guyana would have approached the National Assembly for some supplementary funding, and it was approved to the tune of $84 billion. Right? So $84 billion to expand and enhance work programs under several ministries and agencies was approved last night. The bill was presented by Senior Minister Dr. Ashni Singh and defended by the respective ministers during the 89th sitting of the 12th Parliament. Now, Financial Paper 3 amounted to $456.8 million from the contingency fund. Now, the purpose, operational costs for the Guyana Office of Investment and the Protected Areas Commission, and increased security costs. Financial Paper 4 amounted to $54 billion, both capital $42.5 billion and current $41.5 billion expenditure, right? And this covers the end of this period would cover the end of December. Go to the end of December 2024, the 31st of December 2024. Now, key allocations went also to the oh my goodness. Office of the Prime Minister. I got to say Ministry of the Prime Minister. Office of the Prime Minister. 30.5 billion cash grant distribution for every citizen above 18 years. So that money is there. And 51 billion additional resources for the Madhya Power and Light Company's operation. In relation to the oil, gas to shore energy project, an allocation of 25.3 billion, right? Now, 50% reduction in electricity costs countrywide. That's the spin-offs that will be coming from this. Increase in industrial competitiveness, reduce reliance on heavy fossil fuels, which will take us, as the rest of the world is trying to go, in more of a green path. That we ease this global warming. The 12 o'clock sun is beating everybody, so everybody knows what it is out there. Now, in relation to the disaster preparedness, 9.2 million to be expended, or I should say to expand the disaster preparedness response and management framework. In relation to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you had 123 million to support the humanitarian efforts in the Caribbean region and beyond. As you know, some of the Caribbean countries have been experiencing natural disasters and things like that. Now, in relation to the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, an allocation of 5 billion. Now, this will be for fortifying drainage infrastructure, procuring mini and amphibious excavators worth 2 billion for flood-prone communities, right? Now, for the Ministry of Housing, there was an allocation of 8.4 billion. Now, this is for continued development of housing schemes and coastal water supply program enhancements. As you know, as both ministers would have alluded to, the government of Guyana through the Ministry of Housing and Water is moving toward 100% access to potable water. I think it's by next year, 2025, right? So we've seen a lot of wells being drilled in these hinterland communities, upgrading of wells across the country. Essequibo has a new well there as well that will serve thousands of residents. Currently, the new well at Parika Back Dam, I hope that issue is sorted out. I'm pretty sure it was sorted out because the ministers, they don't make joke. And I spoke to them and they told me that somebody would be there during this week. So I'm almost sure that those persons had a visit. So that system there is being flushed out and tested. So persons at the Parika Back Dam, they'll be having access to good potable water. We do see that there is a consideration for access to potable water in these new schemes because the ministry is just not building schemes and adding them on to the current water grid that is there. They're drilling new wells to ensure that persons get good pressure, they get quality water, and, you know, they're happy with the service that they're getting. Now, the Ministry of Health had an allocation of 8.1 billion. Now, in relation to this, the breakdown, 4.5 billion will go to constructing 6 regional hospitals: Lima Sands, Dikendren, Diamond, Enmore, Bath Settlement, and Number 75 Village. Right? And the initiation of works in Letem, Maruka, and Keto. So healthcare, as I was saying to my Aunt Daphne in the other day, has advanced here. We're doing all sorts of things, whether it's private or public. So persons have no issue in terms of remedying whatever ailment they might have, moving back to Guyana or living in Guyana currently. Now, 3.6 billion of that 8.1 billion will be going to drug and medical supplies to ensure that these regional facilities, Georgetown Public Hospital, the clinics, the health centers, the health huts, the health outposts are all equipped with the necessary medication, medical supplies, gloves, syringes, whatever they need to ensure that the Guyanese population in that area can receive quality medical service courtesy of the government of Guyana. Now, in relation to the Ministry of Education, we can dive into that a little more a little later. The allocation was 1.2 billion. Now, this is in support of the University of Guyana's operations. As you know, the government has moved towards making tertiary education free. They have also initiated the process of writing off the debt of the student loan debt of persons who have already passed through the system, right? So this is necessary to facilitate the process. Now, let's look at the strategic objectives of the funding. And it is important to note that the government is pushing an accelerated development agenda. Now, this aligns with the government's commitment to uplifting all Guyanese. The focus on regional hospital medical supplies to strengthen healthcare services is something that all Guyanese are interested in. They don't want to go to the hospital and hear you got this, you got that, you got this tablet, you got that tablet. Right? In terms of the economic and humanitarian support, I feel better that the CDC or whoever agencies are going to benefit from enhanced disaster management capabilities. And I should say, in relation to them being able to better bring relief to certain areas that are flooded. Now, we have to take into consideration that flooding in Guyana is not something that could be holistically controlled by the government. One, they got areas in this country that are very low, right? Georgetown in particular. Then you have like the Rupununi Savannah there, where you got all the mountains where all that water comes down into the savannah and floods that area. Then we got the human factor, where us as Guyanese just don't give a damn about how we litter and how we dispose of garbage or how we dispose of anything, right? So a lot of the flooding issues that we face in certain areas is self-inflicted. And I'm sorry to say so, I hope nobody vexed with me, but it's self-inflicted. If you are throwing the garbage in the drain or you putting it on the side of the road and eventually after a week it end up in the drain because the dog and bust the bag, something, it end up in the drain. Now the drain is clogged. What do you expect? The water can't go no. What do you expect? What do you expect? Right? But at least there's a continued effort by the administration to bring relief to persons experiencing these kinds of issues. So there's a continued investment in irrigation, in drainage, whilst there's also investment in housing and energy to support the economic growth that's happening in Guyana. The financial support to UG to ensure that our future generations are educated and not at a cost that can break the back in the future or something that tying them to a loan to upgrade themselves for years to come. Right? So I'm glad that the government continues to show that there is a plan to move Guyana forward, that their agenda, despite what time of year, they're looking to get things done. You understand? Some time ago, we would have done that in full relax mode. Big party at in Ghana. You understand? Feeding people who's not even soldiers. And them kind of thing. So, hats off to the administration in terms of submitting these financial papers and having them approved so that you can continue to enhance the lives of Guyanese across this country. Right? Now, before we go back to education, all right, let me deal with this first. Now, look at this here. This was the flyer that was posted, and I only saw this just now. Sorry I'm so late. This is the flyer that was posted for the Tuesday protest outside of GCOM. And I continue to maintain to you that PNC don't and can't even defend their own things that they are lobbying for. So they could not use a photo of Guyanese that rowing about an issue or vexed about the issue. You understand what I mean? They couldn't use a photo of Guyanese. So you find a stock photo online and the photo look like a giant 3 times. Like it's 3 different photos they pull together. Right? You find a photo online because you are your people face attached to whatever you're lobbying for. So then who must jump behind you or your party in relation to your cause if you ain't even want to put your face to your cause? Look at the guy with the brown jacket. He thumb and all his fingers in front of the sign, but he holding the sign still. Look, listen, these people can't even, their supporters nor them don't want to put their face to the thing they fighting for. Clean voters list, but you can't find Guyanese to put in your flyer to support this clean voters list that you want. Biometrics needed. Claudette must go. Who's this guy? Claudette must go. Well, guess what? Claudette says she ain't going nowhere till she's ready. See, I tried it. Now, coming back to the cash grant, I thought that this was the most retarded thing that I saw for the latter part of 2024. You hear me? This is the most retarded post I've seen for the latter part of 2024. And I am continuing to see that, imagine you can't even drum up a proper argument to support what you're putting over to people. Guyanese, don't sign up on those apps, on those PPP app. Okay, anyway, this is a PPP election scam to steal your information and identity. Now, listen to me. I mean, the level of where you head there. I signed up via app for the cash grant. Now, listen to me very carefully. These people aren't collecting any information that is not already public. You understand? Let me read it and bring the mic a little closer. These people are not collecting any information that is not already public. So, I was wondering, this app, would I want here? So when I went, they said, hi, good morning. Can you see your ID card? She look at the ID card. She spelled my name right. Put it in the app. You understand? I think they took a picture of the ID card. Then took a picture of me. Right? Okay. What other info? Well, let me just say, no other information was solicited from me. I don't know if anybody else got asked any other question. No other information was solicited from me. So what are they stealing if the information they're collecting is already on your national ID card and available at places all around the country for persons to go and look and see? The ID card's got your address on it? I think so. It does? Oh, no bad then. No bad then, right. Let me check. Hold on. No, it doesn't on the front. And it doesn't on the back. So on the back, it has your identification number. It has your height. It has your eye color. And it has a distinguishing mark. Right? On the front, surname, forenames, sex, date of birth, nationality, date issued. At the bottom, it got your number and your signature. Right? It's there. Now, I am saying, if you go to one of these places where they have the list for you to check when they got claimed, you know, there's got the list with everybody's name in these areas. If you go to that list has more information because that list actually got your address and your profession. Might think of where you're working, but the list that is at, yeah, I give him the time, Uncle Ronald, because guess what? We have to make it clear to some persons that the utter nonsense that he spews, right? Make them aware of the nonsense that he's spewing. So my point is, this app and the persons who are registering you are not taking any additional information other than your name, a photo ID card, and a photo of you currently. Photo of you. The list that are at these places. So take, for instance, in MacDoom, there's got a list at the shop, Prem shop, the popular shop in MacDoom, where you could go and you could see everybody in MacDoom, the ID card number, where they live in, the profession, the date of birth, everything that is there. What are they stealing? What are they stealing, Rickford Borg? And how could you post this as somebody who, with all them certificates got in the background and your degree, your this and your that? What are they stealing? I contrast this to when Dr. Jagji was opposition leader. You would have never heard at any time. Well, the government is giving out Buju Banton tickets, right? They didn't give out cash grant and them thing. Buju Banton tickets. Master, take the ticket. Take the ticket and go. It's your money. Take the ticket and go. Why are you depriving Guyanese of, or suggesting to Guyanese that they shouldn't sign up for this grant? And you're suggesting that they get more. So if they can't get the amount that you're suggesting, don't let it take nothing. Hold a car and sit down. Rick Ford, come and register for your grant, bro. Don't frighten. Come and register for your grant. Right? So don't be fooled by this nonsense. There's no information to steal. You're submitting your bank account information. They want to see your bank card number. Nothing. Everything that is there that is being collected is already public information that GCOM releases to the public for scrutiny. You can go in any area and check a voters list. You don't have to be from there. You could go anywhere and just check a voters list. Right? So don't be bothered with this idiot. Next. We gotta be running to Parliament. We run into Parliament. So Ganesh had some questions to Minister Manik Chan yesterday. Right? You know, you would think that somebody at the level of member of Parliament, that you have the word honorable before their name, that they would not engage in rum shop, coca top gaff, as the minister used coca top. I use rum shop. Engage in that kind of gaff without solid information. Now, I've said here to you in the past, when Dr. Jagdi was opposition leader, on Thursday when he goes to the press conference, when they were on Church Street, yeah, I think so. When they were on Church Street, on Thursday when he goes to the press conference and he says, Pam Singh, working at the Guyana Lands and Survey Commission, gave away the land or some kind of underhanded thing going on. He just telling you Pam Singh doing this. He's saying, look, this is it here. What's the transaction? This amount. Look, Pam Singh. Look, Pam Singh. That's what he's doing. That is what he's doing. So he do his due diligence in terms of ensuring that the information he releasing to the public is authentic. You understand? But these guys are so shameless. Could you imagine a member of Parliament using an unsubstantiated information from a social media influencer instead of actually looking for credible information? Listen to this, Bano.
May I ask also, sir, that there is a company that is in the public space, Centaur Investment Inc., where the allegation is that the minister has some ties to the contract, to the company. May I ask the honorable minister?
Now, mind you, he ain't telling you who make these allegations. It would be shameful for you to stand up because this is on public record. This is being streamed live. That you get this information from Melly Mel. Right? This man basing so imagine, that's to show you. You as a local MP can't get information about the government. You got to rely on a social media influencer who running from the line Guyana, living in the US. So you here, you can't get it, but she could get it over there. Right? Let me continue.
Minister, if indeed this company is in receipt of a contract from her ministry, and if so, what is the sum? And could she say the respective companies in the that is in contract with the ministry, what are their sums and the names of the company?
So he now asking the minister to talk about the company he raised, Centaur, and then the minister must tell you every single company that get a contract with a name and what the amount is. Ganesh, you never hear about the National 10 MP tab? All the information there. Use an MP, you could request it. You could request it. I didn't say any minister and provide the information, but you could request it. And the bottom line is, at the end of the day, all these contractors that they're fighting down, the majority aren't Indo-Guyanese. The majority aren't Indo-Guyanese. So, the Vex, this Banner, Marlon Jacobs get contract. They want this guy, the owner for Centaur, Mr. Monroe, Kwesi Monroe. They want he get contract. Right? The Vex, the people in Linden getting contract. Pam, the cash grant app is not open for the public's use. The government got persons who are coming around and registering you. So it's not something you could just download and register yourself. As far as I know, no, that's not the case. They have persons in the regions registering people. You're going to the ministries, you register people, that kind of thing. Right?
Thank you, sir.
So I was happy with Minister Manik Chan's response. And the minister highlighted something very important. Let's listen to her.
Don't lie, you know.
I have a rule, sir, that you deal with the message and not the messengers.
I want to maintain. I mightn't make it as an MP, you know. I might not. Because the restraint sometimes that these ministers show in relation to responding to certain things, I don't cuss up. Who know me, right? Who know me. I probably ask Ganesh, what else you asking me? What you asking me really? What you asking me? Right? So I would have responded to the messenger and the message. But I'm glad that Minister Manik Chan decided to go high when they decided to go low.
Sorely tempted here to break my own rule, but I won't.
Yeah,
The honorable member stood up in this house and said he read from a website that he is relying on the various names of contracted security companies from the Ministry of Education. And he asks us to treat that as truth.
That's to show you. So, listen to what the minister is saying to you. Now, could you imagine that I am an MP? I read online somebody make this allegation. In your opinion, viewers who's sitting down here, the 202 people that watching me right now, in your opinion, what would be your next move? If you see this information online, you going to check the veracity, the credibility of the information? Or attempt to at least to say, well, look, I saw this online. This Centaur or Centaur, you can get the name right. Right? I see this online. And I went to MP tab to check to see what's going on with that. And I couldn't get the information. That would have been better. But when you as a big man, member of parliament, represent in the leadership of one of the largest political parties in the country, basing your information that you are presenting and raising questions in the National Assembly on a post from Melly Mel, And listen, I seek so much lives for somebody who do laugh for 2 years. Jesus Christ, Melly Mel. You shouldn't tell nobody that. You shouldn't tell nobody that. I remember the first time I saw a presentation by Melly Mel, and I was so disappointed. Right? I was much younger. I think this was during the coalition time, man. This was during the coalition time. And she was on Globe Span for something. I think it was Melly Mel, Kiana Wilberg. I can't remember, but I know she was on Globe. It was Globe Span. And when I listened to how Melly Mel articulate and putting over her points, I was so disappointed. I thought this was an intelligent young lady. You know, I mean, not everybody can articulate well. Understandable. Right? Not everybody can articulate well. But I said, well, Melly Mel, this is what you sound like when you're talking about whatever you're talking about. And I was disappointed because it was portrayed to me that this lady here is some kind of big time, I don't know what to call her. But like I said, I was surprised and disappointed. So that was my first encounter with Melly Mel. A couple of years ago on a Globe Span program, and she sounded not so smart, or not as smart as she claims to be. Now to hear she do laugh for 2 years. You gotta stop it. You gotta stop it. But back to Minister Manik Chan. Back to Minister.
He did not call Contour, or what is it? Centaur. He did not call that name. He did not call that name. Yet he stands here to ask me something he already knows. So I will answer you. One, and I think it's important, sir, for us to examine this properly. Bringing into this house the cocoa top gaff.
So that's what we're talking about, the cocoa top gaff. You do no research to back up your claim. Well, people know y'all got sleepers in some of these ministries. So you couldn't even get them to get you some kind of documentation to say, well, look, he get this one. Or, I don't know if this is public, but most likely, most likely, I gotta silence this phone. It's thrown me off on this live. No, no research, nothing to back up what he's saying. Only going on the basis of what Melly Mel tell you. Now, we'll give Melly Mel this credibility that a member of parliament would go to the National Assembly in front of his colleague members of parliament, the government that his side of the house trying to replace at the next election, the speaker, everybody looking on the live, and use this information without testing it first. You should shame, Ganesh. You should shame. That level of stupidity, you definitely need to do better, brother. But then again, what do we expect from this section of the political arena? What do we expect? Most of the times we see claims being made that cannot be substantiated. So who's telling us about incontrovertible evidence? PNC, man. Who calling up company name that he know nothing about based on somebody with almost no credibility? A PNC man. Right? A PNC man. Now, I'm coming back to my earlier point. This is the same PNC that's saying Afro-Guyanese don't get nothing. Afro-Guyanese ain't benefiting. Afro-Guyanese only getting 5 million and 15 million contract. This is enough. I don't know how much, I don't know the contracts the company get in the amount. But I'm saying, what's the issue? Afro-Guyanese got a registered company bidding and getting contracts. What's the issue? What's the issue? This is not what y'all advocating for, the advancement of Afro-Guyanese in the nation? Isn't that the plan? To advance Afro-Guyanese? Now you find out, or you can't say find out, but you receive some information that the Afro-Guyanese has a company, and the company winning contract, and you vex. You won't get a company document to say, look, Minister Manakchan is one of the directors, or her husband is one of the directors, or one of her family is one of the directors. Literally nothing. You come, I want to call it a, I got started a late night program where I could just talk as I feel like. I just get reprimanded by too many people on this Livewire in the morning. I can't say what I feel like. But you get where coming from? You get where coming from? This is the kind of time and effort that PNC operatives put into the information that they are sharing with the Guyanese public, or the information that would make them seem like they're doing the work. So when Guyanese hear though, they want to know, you can't work in government, you can't work in Apple. What are we going to do with you? What are we going to do with you? Even if you decide to send them to City Hall, they done there flapping up City Hall already. Oh, geez, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And these are the same people, Mahipal and Bree and Valdo and Chris and Jerito and whoever else. These are the same people who will come to you next year and ask you to take your sensible vote and give it to them to put them back in office. So if Melly Mel posts an economic plan for Guyana, that's where you running with Ganesh Mahipal. If Melly Mel said the budget for Guyana should be $200 million and no more, that's what you bring into the National Assembly? Is that it? You serious? You're basing your political comments as a official office holder, constitutional office holder, and a member of parliament, I guess you are, on Melly Mel? Melly Mel? And I was staying away from Melly Mel for a while because,
that is now allowed on social media because of freedoms might be something we want to guard against. But I will answer very clearly. After I saw that myself, I inquired as to the ownership of Centaur or Contour, and it is owned by a young Guyanese of African descent named Kwesi Monroe.
Right? So now we know who owns Centaur. My question is, why is it always an issue when Afro-Guyanese getting thing? You say Afro-Guyanese ain't getting nothing. So now they getting thing. They getting thing. What happened? What happened? Kwesi Monroe is an Afro-Guyanese business owner who is thriving. How is that a bad thing? I don't think he was doing so 2016 to 2020. Maybe the environment wasn't enabling enough for him. Maybe he was the wrong skin color for that administration, that they didn't want to help him. I don't know. But now, this Afro-Guyanese register a business, employing people, and executing contracts. More so, you didn't hear Centaur name get called at the 5:30 meeting, so then go standing with the government, they're doing the work. And mind you, I don't know of Centaur as a security company. I know that they do other work. I never knew that they had security. But like I'm saying, this company in no bad standing. right? This company is not in any bad standing. They didn't do nothing wrong, but they're getting attacked and lambasted by the opposition for a reason, right? Now, listen to the ending of the minister's statement. So, mind you, he didn't go and find out, try to get an idea of, and I don't know if that's public record, who the directors are on companies. I'm not sure. Let me find out. Let me ask somebody if that's public record. All right, I gotta get, I'm not a liar. Let me call one of the law student. Let me call and find out. Let me find out. These law students wake up late doing the one thing. And this other guy had to know did law. I don't even know if he in the country. Hold on, let me see. All right, he's usually answer. Hi, Chief. You did law, right? So no. I wanted to find out. So, like for companies, you got to register as a company director, a company secretary, and that kind of thing. Those persons, that information, is that public? That like a member of public could go and see who's the director of a company? Okay, thanks. I just wanted to confirm. Right, guys. So I just spoke to a law student, and they said to me that these records are public. So, with the information that Ganesh Mahipal had, you have the name of the company, right? You have the name of the company. Melly Mel said, this company associated with who and who and who. You, as a citizen of Guyana, have the right to go to, I think it's the securities, something let's call it, and say, okay, look, Center, I'd like to see who's the directors or whatever. That information is public. So you could have gone beforehand, instead of making yourself an idiot in the National Assembly, you could have gone and find out, is the minister a director or some silent partner? Is her husband a director or some silent partner? Anybody named Manik Chan connected to this company, or she made a name which I don't know, connected to this company? You could have gone check. But that shows you the level of these PNC people, that they don't even want to put effort in the things that can make them look good. So if you had caught the minister in a pickle there, perhaps opposition look good. But you didn't even want to do the due diligence to go and check the veracity of Melly Mel's claims. You run in the National Assembly to talk a bunch of foolishness and with nothing to back it up. Personally, I think Ganesh Mahipal is a comic show. The best thing about Ganesh Mahipal is his heckling. That's it. When it comes to heckling, Ganesh Mahipal, he always got something to say. He always got some shade. And Ganesh don't throw shade. Ganesh throw a whole tree at you, whether it's true or not. You understand me? Sometimes you sit down in there and the heckling from Ganesh Mahipal is funny as hell. But that's it. That is it. Oh, shit. I can't afford another phone now. Jesus. Yeah, that is it. That is it. So all the information is public. He could go to the tender board and submit the name and say, man, please show me how much contracts issued to this contractor. He didn't do that. He could have go to the registration place, and me talking about the deeds registry, because a business registration and a company registration, registering a company is two completely different things, completely different costs, completely different requirements. You understand? He could have gone and found out who's the owner. You understand me? Who's the owner? And come to the National Assembly like a boss
Mr. Speaker, I saw this post, but I went on and checked. Here is the document. I'm going to lay it down wherever it says submit the document, however terminology is used to submit documents. I'm going to lay it in the National Assembly for the people to see. Manik Chan name on this company center. But no, you're not going to get that from him, right? And listen to his response after the minister responded. Listen.
We are very happy. We are very happy in the People's Progressive Party civic government to offer opportunities for growth and thriving to young Guyanese of all ethnicities and particularly of African descent. I have no ties. I have no ties to any security company anywhere in this country. None.
One, so she clears herself there. Wow. The minister said me have no ties to no security company. She understand that, or she understood, or she understands how Ganesh operate. So she clears herself alone. She know that she can come with more stupidness because for those who know, and I think it's general knowledge right by now, Minister Manik Chan's husband is I'm not sure if he's active still, but he's a senior officer or was a senior officer in the GDF. I don't know if he's retired or what. I don't know. But I know that he's from the GDF. Senior officer. So the minister know you're going to come with stupidness taxes, stupidness after. So she clears herself completely. You understand? No, you go and do the research and prove her wrong.
Neither me nor my husband, my brother, my sister, my parents are dead. None. Absolutely none. The other question that you asked is whether or not the Ministry of Education has awarded any contracts through, of course, the NPTAB to that company. And I'm happy to tell you, although I would have no problems awarding any contract to anybody who has bid and won the bid, that this company has never been given any contract from the Ministry of Education while I was the Minister of Education. Do you have any other question?
So, could you imagine that now? The minister now reveals to us because during the, this here, what you're seeing here, this is called the oh boy, I ain't go Parliament in a while, but basically they're going through line by line what they want the money for, and the opposition members of Parliament can question it. So let me say security they're talking about. He said $1 billion to security. Ganesh Mahipal got questioned, so the speaker allows him. Ganesh Mahipal, well, minister, this $1 billion is 200 million more than the last thing. Where there's extra money going securing where? Where securing with this extra money? Now the minister and her heads of agency sitting down here with her PS, them people got all the information there with the money going to it, spending on and them thing, and she would respond to say, well, look, we increasing security at the schools because they had these things of kidnapping and we want to share safe and whatnot. Thing they respond. Right? They respond.
Honorable Member, Mr. Mahipal, do you have any other questions?
Sir, the fundamental question was not answered.
What you mean the fundamental question was not answered? This guy asked. Let me listen what he asked.
May I ask also, sir, that there is a company that is in the public space.
Center that you asked about.
Centaur Investment Inc.
To which the minister responded to.
Where the allegation is that the minister has some ties to the country.
Responding to the allegation that she, nor her husband, nor her sister, nor her brother has any ties to any security company in the country.
To the company. May I ask the Honorable Minister if indeed this company is in receipt of a contract from her ministry?
responded saying that the company has not gotten any contracts under her ministry during her time as minister. Right? So everything that he asked, the minister respond to. Everything that he asks, then Ganesh gonna get up here to say this to big people.
Minister of Education. Do you have any other questions?
This is what Ganesh can get up to say.
Honorable member, Mr.
And this is why I say to y'all, it's a clown show with Mahipal, a full clown show. So he ain't even serious about what he doing.
Mahipal, do you have any other questions?
Listen to Ganesh.
Sir, the fund.
It's a joke. It's a joke to him. So apparently he was supposed to be serious about holding the government accountable and pulling up the Minister of Education if she's involved in any of this thing. But now the minister jog you to say, well, hey, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're real stupid. Real stupid. You understand? Now you get up, cracking joke and them kind of thing. Even like we said, he'd have given the minister a chance to trap yourself. To say, well, okay, let's you deny it. I can jump up with the evidence now. Not a bit of it to contradict what the minister said. Oh, well, you said no contracts. So what is this? You said no ties. Look, we find your name on the company register. Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that is what you get from this section. Absolutely nothing. Now, again, I said earlier, and I'm wrapping up here. This is the last thing I'm touching on. And very likely, this Melly Mel situation and the revelations that she's making, right? Let me show you the difference. Now, Melly Mel is accusing or making these allegations against the Attorney General and whatnot. I think this was 2018, 2017 time under the coalition. Now, persons often say that I was a part of the PNC because I worked at the President Youth Award. I really worked, volunteer, because it was a stipend, it wasn't salary. Volunteered at the President Youth Award, an organization I came through under the presidency of Barajagdio. Right, you understand? Knew about the program since Minister Teixeira was Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport. And anybody who remembers that knows that that is eons ago. Long ago. Minister Gail Teixeira, before Minister Frank Anthony was Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport. Alfred King was head of President Youth Award at the time. So I came to that program. I became a leader. I became a field assistant. I became a field officer. All voluntary, never full-time employment. I represented this country 3 times through that program on the international, at the international level. Right? And during the coalition time, these people literally broke this program up. They put in an EO who had no idea what he was doing. He was more interested in, as the PNC, APNU, AFC government was interested in the pomp and fancy that came with the title of his office. I'm the executive officer of the President Youth Awards program. So that was his interest. In the prestige that came with the office, the duty-free that come with the position, and the salary, not advancing the program. So it was mainly about him. So when they used to do flyers and stuff back in the day, he faced on everything. Not the youths who they're trying to impact. Right? Anyway, it ended up that the director of youth, Melissa Carmichael, who was reasonably close with George Norton, the minister, apparently, allegedly, George Norton is her daughter's godfather or whatever it is. Right? They had an issue with Collins because I can't end up calling him. They had an issue with the EO of the President Youth Award because
he was closer to Granger. The twins, but the one that was at President Youth Award. Anyway, so he and the director youth ended up at a loggerhead over things, and she started to stifle the program. So much so that she used to start to cut my stipend, not my salary, cut my stipend. Anybody who was at the President Youth Award at that time would tell you I ran off the most activities and engagements to the youths across the regions around that time. Right? So she started cutting my stipend and them kind of thing to spite me. Anyway, I eventually left the job. I wasn't working. My aunt got sick and died. The little savings I had went. My mother, who was very close to my aunt, died shortly after. You hear? And I was very disgruntled because I had no income to keep up my mother and them kind of thing. And as I mentioned before, I have an autistic sister, so it was a lot in terms of her medication and to fulfill my sister's needs. So when I found out that the former director of youth, Melissa Carmichael, and I'll call your name because I still got it recorded. I still got it recorded that I submit to the police that they never do nothing about. You understand? Back in the day. I still got it recorded. Now the Borby Slayer call him back. He mad. He best rest himself. So, where was I? Yeah. So, Ryan, I was calling for legal advice. You didn't answer him on my live. Please, I'll talk to you later. Right. So, after I find out Melissa Carmichael, the former director youth, I think she work in GRA or something now. And she can't assume me can't line on shit. Me line on shit. Right? After I found out that Melissa Carmichael, Alicia Pompey, and Lester Rosine, who were employed at the President Youth Award, they colluding with each other to bid for contracts, I think at one of these UN agencies, under somebody else's name who didn't know nothing about it. I did an investigation. Right? I went and I found the woman who they used her documents, interviewed her, released the recording online. Me threatening her. Oh, I can release it when you're ready. Oh, well, yes, just now. I got the recordings. I got the screen grab. No. I make an accusation. You understand? And I release my evidence in relation to the accusation. The PNC government didn't do nothing about it, obviously, because it's their people and thing. But that is the difference I'm showing you. You got this information, right? Apparently, you say the age, he said wherever to you and send wherever to you and wherever it is. We're dancing around the place for. You in Guyana, you got nothing to worry about. You overseas. Release the information if you have it. You understand? This, we can contrast this to so many things. The SOPs. You have the information. You say you win. Why you want to show nobody? Why you want to show nobody? Huh? Literally, me going to the Guyana Lottery Company and buying a ticket at one of their locations. Then showing up tomorrow at the lottery head office, saying to them, give me the blood clot jackpot because I won. And they say, okay, Mr. Jones, please show us your winning ticket. And I'm saying, no, me show you no ticket. I tell you I win, give me the money. What foolishness is that? What foolishness is that? So she knows she out the country and she can't get touched as easily in terms of the cybercrime law. You scandaling people on social media. So persons are saying, if you have this evidence, if you're so sure that you were in conversation with the Attorney General at that time, but well, the current Attorney General, y'all had a conversation at that time, and he said whatever he said, and you know it, so release it. Release it. We're holding on to it for. Whether you release it now or at the court, it can still got the same weight. Right? And it can take the what's the right word? It can take the mystery out of the air in relation to Guyanese wondering if you're BSing them or if you're serious. Right? They want to know. So just like how, and just to show you,
like I said, I was staying away from the issue. Just look at it. When Melly Mel bust the Brutus matter, right? When she started to release the stuff about Brutus, what she was doing, she released evidence to say, well, look, this is it. I said, so this is it. What happened in this case? Why are you releasing the evidence? You releasing everything for sure. Brutus this, Brutus that, this sign here, the check there. What money pay back, what money try for put in. You had all the evidence and you release it to social media. What is different in this instance? Why are you holding on to it? Brutus is a liar too. He could sue you as well. What's the difference? Plus, my final point. With all that this young lady has said, the evidence that she is releasing is things from years ago. Some Sean Hines interview, then the recording of the Kaicho News thing, asked and answered. Asked and answered. We done deal with them thing long ago. We got time with it no more. We got time with it no more. So, if you got the evidence, friend, you lose it, man. Don't hold it. Give yourself some more credibility. You gain some credibility with Brutus because your information was somewhat accurate. Right? But as we can see, there's a big difference with how you're operating with the Brutus information and the AG information. I don't know why you're holding on to it still. I don't know what's going on with you. You sort out your salvation. I ain't trying to get involved. Anyway, people, before I go, just reminding you that today at 2 p.m., the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic, Dr. Bart Jagdeo, will be having his Thursday press conference as scheduled. So do make sure you guys tune in to hear the take from the General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party Civic. That's all the time I have for y'all today. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. I am supposed to be in Bartica tomorrow morning. So I most likely have to pre-record the show. But we'll have a show tomorrow, and y'all be safe for the weekend and the rest of the day and tomorrow as well. Try and get registered for your cash grant. I know a lot of people ask me questions in relation to the cash grant. I will seek clarification today. And in tomorrow's show, you'll be able to understand what is it. I'll be able to explain what you wanted clarity on, right? Yeah, so that's it for me. Y'all continue to be good Guyanese. Sally Jones, hold a big up. I think you come late this morning. Don't think I call your name in the beginning, but big up yourself. Sally is always supportive. Sally, Eunice, Pam, always supportive, always would give a kind word and supportive thoughts. Deshaun and everybody. Thank you guys for the support. And I am still shocked at the progress we've made here on Livewire and Livewire TV and news. But nevertheless, I'm happy about it. And we'll keep pushing to make sure we bring you the information that you need. Right? So as I always say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about one Guyana.
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no trees.